This is how to run the CLI PoP miner. We're going to build this with pre-built binaries instead of building from source, so follow along if that's what you would like to learn. First, we're going to open this link and take a quick look. If we scroll down, based on our operating system, here are some recommendations. I'm currently using Linux, so we'll click on the list of binaries and we'll build from there. Okay, so let's download the correct one for Linux. And going back, so step 2, we're going to extract the files using those 2 commands. So I've just set up side-by-side windows with the terminal and the instructions. So we're going to cd into downloads ls to see the contents of the folder. And now we're going to enter the first line of code in step 2. And by the way, if you hit Control when you're typing in the name of the file, it'll automatically populate. Fun hack. And then we entered uname-a. For step 3, you're just going to launch your CLI, which I am already working in. So if you don't have this up and running at the moment, go ahead and reopen it and get it set up. This is how you'll do it based on your operating system. You can cd and just keep going down until you get to the right directory level, or you can do cd and then just drag it into the CLI. It gets you the same result. Okay, so now we're looking at the folder contents. You can either do ls or dir for Linux, both work, and everything looks good. Okay, on to step 5. We're going to verify our configuration success. So on Mac, there's an additional step right there in purple that you need to do. But again, because we're on Linux, we're not going to have to do that. So right underneath, we're going to run that popmd line of code. And this is the expected result. There's an example of it just right here. So that all looks good. We'll adjust it so you can see it a little clearer. 6A is an optional step if you don't already have a public key for Ethereum or Bitcoin. I'm going to walk through these steps just to show you how to set it up. So we're going to copy that line of code and paste it into our CLI/terminal. Okay. And then we're going to open the JSON and look at the information that it's generated. So here you can see your private key, your public key, and everything else that you would need. Okay, step 7 is about funding your address. It doesn't matter if you just generated the new address with us, you're gonna have to have a balance. For new address, the pub key hash is going to be your address, so you can send funds to that. If you have an existing Bitcoin address, make sure you change your wallet type as instructed in second bullet point, and same with EVM. Step 8, we're going to run the miner, but first you need to get your private key from your wallet. Make sure it's your hex private key and not your WIF private key. I won't show it for privacy. Okay, so now we're going to start running the commands that are in step 8. Again, reminder, we're on Linux, so we're going to be running from this box. Let's take a quick look for step number 2. If you scroll to the bottom of the page, it'll give you a number that you can use. We're going to be using 50. I prefer to run some of this code one by one. So what I did was I copied the whole block of code and I just put it in a text editor. And then I'm going to fill out each line as I go along. Okay, so I've begun running each of those lines. The first one I hid because it has my private hex key in it. And this is the result you should get when it starts to run the PoP miner. So it's going to take a little bit for you to start seeing results. And then you're going to start getting notices about keystones. It's going to look something like this. And congratulations, you are now a Hemi PoP miner.